I'm here to tell you about something that's freely available, imaginative, creative, spontaneous, rule-breaking, memorable, organic, calorie-free, gluten-free, and it actually makes you feel younger. I'm really 84. I'm not really, I'm 82 and a half, because a half's important when you're a kid, right? Yeah, we all agree. And so I'm here to tell you about play. And what I want you to do is you can close your eyes and listen, or you can keep your eyes open and listen, but just indulge me in the moment. And that's your childhood right there. Just gone through it. Joyful, isn't it? When was the last time you made a noise like that? I want to go around you one by one and ask all of you. Some of you may have been last week, this morning, or yesterday, or 50 years ago. Okay? And the second one, so that's a child. The second one, open your eyes and just watch. Don't do icebreakers, okay? Do energizers. I've known these guys for 15 minutes. I work in Switzerland with a group, and there's 8 nationalities, so 8 people, 7 nationalities, 7 cultures, 7 languages, one common theme, which is play. And many of you may be curious about this now, and if you are curious, 3 o'clock outside, 8 of you, we can play this game. These are some signals. This one, and this one. Okay, and if you've played the game before, as Gareth in the room may know, we become play advocates. Being at university, I thought I'd better link in with the academic world and come up with some play definition. I'd read books and articles, and I thought, well, the best way to describe play is your memories. How would you describe play? What would your memories and reflections of play be? And so I sort of came up with one, and this is mine, okay? Belly aching, laugh out louding, spontaneous, rule breaking, laugh out louding. I just made that last word up, by the way. It's healthy, spontaneous fun. And it's not something that's just resigned to my childhood. It's something that I revisit at every opportunity. It was only about 2 weeks ago, I was leading a course with 2 colleagues, one who's in the room now, and we were waiting for the course to start, and I said, fancy a game of kicking golf? And they went, yeah. That was it. No resistance, no be serious, let's play. And if you ever play kicking golf with a rugby ball, it's pretty chaotic, but I'm happy to tell you the rules. So I sort of searched for definitions, and I was wondering, what would your definition of play be? What would your recollections of play? How would you describe it? For me, that's the most powerful part of it, is to look back and think, well, this is my story, these are my memories, this is what it meant to me. And when it came rule breaking, and that really resonated with me, because I didn't really like sort of conformity, if you like. But then I did find this definition by Doug Gamage through a book called Playful Awakening. And the words that really stand out for me is a mysterious and magical, mercurial and exploratory. And the 2 pictures you can see are my classroom. Those are my lecture rooms. The marble run on the left and a children's playground on the right-hand side. It was summer, it was sort of the end of summer, September, week 1, lecture 1, and we were doing a lecture on play, and I just thought, well, if we're going to do play, we need to go to the playground. So we went outside, we ditched the PowerPoint for about 3 weeks, and we just explored the playground, and we got children's stories, and we did a whole vast of stories. And this is the image from that. And what I found was I didn't lead it. They led it. Now, the next game. Now remember, not all classrooms have walls. So this is a classroom. I took the same adults who were children in that previous video. I took them outside, and you may recognize the game. Okay. When I bought the game for the first time, I took the lid off it, got the rules, and threw the rules away. Okay, and I decided to make up games. So we have our own version of this, not the game that you may know. And it's really is magical. It's imaginative, it's connecting, it's creative. It's all of those words that we mentioned at the start. Rule breaking because we made our own rules up. And every time I play this game, the magic happens. So when we join the dots backwards and look at our play history, and we connect with the past and what it meant and what it felt like and those images, what does our play history tell us? What science tells us is that play is essential. It shouldn't be compromised. It shouldn't be marginalized. It shouldn't be used as a reward. If you do this, you can have a reward, and never do that. It's intuitive. It's the ability to connect with it and think, you know what we need to do now? This is the best thing to do. Those coaches I work with had traveled from all around the world, many for the first time. And the idea of stifling the classroom was not what they wanted. So we found the game that connected us. And you can see here, behind me, we've got an architect, a surfer, an environmentalist, an artist, a world champion downhill mountain biker, an astronaut. But does it matter? It doesn't matter. What matters is that we played, and we have a play history. And our play history is a nourishing, oxygen-giving, memorable part that connects us to our outside world, connects us to friends, connects us to the things that we really love doing. And then we go out of childhood and take on these adult responsibilities. We want to become those play advocates, the ones that will carry on playing in some sustainable, ongoing characteristic of their life. It's a part of what they do. Play has a legacy. But as we grow up and we grow out of our play, and play has been removed from our adult lives, we kind of abandon it and we marginalize it, push it to one side as though that was then, but this is now. And in the US TV series, The Wonder Years, set in a middle-class US suburban family, the main star of the show, Kevin, talks about growing up shouldn't be a series of advances and retreats. And him and his friend Willie wanted to stay kids just a little bit longer. Not quite sure how long it lasts, but it's lasted quite a long time for me. And that growing up didn't want to be a process of giving things up one by one. And certainly not play. So why have I got the tree behind me? You've got a favorite tree, right? I had a favorite tree when I was a child. It was opposite my house, and it was a conker tree. I'm not quite sure how the real word for a conker tree. It's probably got some proper name like a horse chestnut tree. But it's always a conker tree, right? And I spent hours climbing it, throwing a stick into the tree, getting the conkers down, and my Labrador Bracken would sit there hoping that he would get the stick before me. And run off for half an hour, and it took me ages to try and catch him and bring it back. I've got real rich memories of that tree. Ironically, they've chopped it down now, and there's a lamppost there. I don't really have many happy memories of a lamppost. However, maybe you've got an equivalent of a tree when you look back on your childhood. Now, there's two people in the audience tonight who I was down with the pub with recently. And I just watched them. I asked them how their friendship was. And we've known each other since we were 5. And that was it. And they recounted straw bales and cycling and tennis and all these things. And you know what I noticed when they were really connecting and talking to each other? that if I put a glass screen between me and them and there'd been no volume, that their faces exhibited such joy and such pleasure and such happiness that they connected with straight away. And it took them back 20 years since when they were kids. Not really. 20 years, that's right? Yeah, it is 20 years. Okay. And I just sort of watched, and I was an observer in this beautiful connection of these smiles and this sparkle and this energy that took those people straight back to the memory as though it was that morning. How nourishing is that? How good is that for our well-being? And so, there's always hope. There's always opportunities to play. Just like kindness, it will find you. And if you're open enough to it, you can indulge in it. And behind me are two professional people in a stately home, Martin and Gareth, happily, willingly, stars of TED, okay, agreed to let me show this video.
2, 1, go!
Sadly, our membership of the National Trust has been revoked, banned. I'm just joking. Actually, what happened as a result of that video, we actually managed to get a child membership for a year, such them being kids. So, play is the gift that just keeps on giving. Anyway, maybe we should all take a balloon and being a teacher, a lecturer, maybe I should do a proper job and give you some homework. So that's your homework. I'm not going to mark it. You can do that yourself. And if you don't believe me, they're just here in a bag for the coffee break afterwards to collect one at a time. And so there it is. Two professional grown-up adults revisiting, reconnecting, being nourished with play. So before I give you this final quote, it's an important part of my life, an important of my ritual. It's part of my calendar. I don't book it in. It's something I do habitually. It's not like today I play. It could just happen. So think about what you could do. Blow bubbles through a straw into a glass of water. Play board games. Build a sandcastle. Fly a kite. Invent new games. In the words of the sign on the Botanical Gardens in Sydney, it says, "Please walk on the grass." It also says, "Hug a tree." I'm not quite sure what that comes into, but I like that anyway. And so, I really love this quote by Stuart Brown, who is a play advocate, a writer, and a speaker. And I can read it out to you from here, but you can read it. When we look at our play history, just remember how that made you feel. Remember that emotion and hold on to it. Because that's what's going to save you. The memory of that emotion is going to be the life raft that keeps you from drowning. Trust me. I know. Now this is among, well, it's my favorite video. And I hold on to that. I'm not going to tell you where it is, so I'm not supposed to have done it. I shouldn't have told that either, but hey, we did it. And it's the nourishing, connecting memory which I hope has given you some time today to think about back to what really was your tree, your balloon moments, your rule-breaking moments. Thank you very much for today.